Here we go. All right. We are ready. All right. All right, once I see myself, I'm going to go and give it a try. All right, once I see myself, we're going to keep it moving here. All right, there we are. All right, well, thank you so much for joining me here on this Sunday evening. Hopefully you've had an absolutely stellar weekend. You've had some time to enjoy the fantastic weather that we've had. If you are this is your first time here at the First Alert Desk, my name is Tori Cooper. I'm a news anchor and reporter here at Atlanta News First, and always excited to have you guys on with us here. This is a great way for us to share our process reporting, bring you some of the knowledge that we have on just some of the stories that not only are trending right now, the ones we've been working on, but also just ones I've covered in the field before and just some other stuff that we know as reporters going on in Metro Atlanta and, of course, Georgia as a whole. So I want to dive right into it. One of our top stories of this weekend that we've really worked to develop. We've even been in contact with some family members of one of the victims who survived this shooting. Let's talk still about what's happening in Fayetteville, an ongoing investigation, and the search for a man who's suspected of shooting and killing a 19-year-old man as well as wounding a 9-year-old little girl at the front entrance of a Walmart in Fayetteville. Now, we went back out to that location. We spoke to shoppers. All of them were on edge. Police did tell us they believe that Adrian Jelks is the man who they believe is responsible. Let's show you who that is if you haven't seen his face. This is some scene video first that's going to play out from when the shooting occurred in Fayetteville on Friday night. This is one of the suspects. I believe her name is Sandra. Let me just double check that. Yep, Sandra Romero Nunez is who you're just looking at. And this is the victim who you were looking at right there. Let's see if I can rewind that a little bit. This is the victim right here who they say was shot. And this is the suspect right here, Adrian Jelks, who they're looking for. And so now police are still looking for the Walmart employee. Jelks was an employee at that Walmart who they believe carried out this shooting, and they do believe that he knew one of the victims who he killed, according to investigators. Now, of course, he's accused of killing this person as well as wounding the young child, the 9-year-old girl, but nothing is for certain, of course. These are just he's just someone who is accused in this and is one of the suspects so far. So his name, let me just make sure I have the name of the victim. Okay, the name of the victim who they believe that Mr. Jelks knew was Antavius Holton, also 19 years old. So it's unclear what happened. This person, Sandra, who you're looking at, Sandra Nunez, they believe that was party to the crime that Mr. Jelks allegedly committed, so that's why they did get her in custody later on. So one in custody, still searching for the alleged gunman, and then, of course, there's one 19-year-old who lost his life as a result of this shooting, and a 9-year-old girl, we're told by family members, was shot in the face for being an innocent bystander in this situation. So this is very top of mind because this was a Walmart employee. Just the elements of this are very intense, and it's an ongoing investigation every day that this person's not in custody. So that's one of our top stories and has been all weekend. Now let's talk about something none of us want to wake up to on an Easter Sunday, our apartment going up in flames. It's already enough that we're working hard, right? We're working hard for all of our stuff, and to watch it go up in flames is awful. And having to move suddenly, especially on a weekend like Easter Sunday, my heart just absolutely goes out to these people who went through this in Mapleton. Let's take you to the scene. Let me just make sure, bear with me, because I just want to make sure this is the right video. I believe this is. Yep, this is video of that fire that I'm talking about in Mapleton. This apartment complex went up in flames early this morning. Crews responded. They told us that 14 people were displaced by this, and now the Red Cross has stepped in to help them out. They're still working to determine the cause of this fire to see what led up to this, but those units had heavy smoke damage, and residents aren't going to be able to return anytime soon. So, I mean, just a disaster for people on Easter who wanted to maybe sleep in this morning. That was not what they were able to do in Mableton. So if we get any other information on this fire, if there's anything suspicious related to the cause, we'll definitely follow up on this. And then I figured, as always, we got to end on a high note, right? At least in terms of the news part. There was, I'm sure you're familiar with Hosea Helps. They are a nonprofit organization that helps in many different ways, but they are always feeding the homeless community. And today they were just giving back to the community as a whole, and they had a food drive. They had games and fun out there. So let's take you to that. Show you that scene today. It's always good to see people doing good, right? And that's exactly what these volunteers at Hosea Helps were doing. And what a perfect day to get outside and give back, because the temperatures outside were perfect. It was great to just go on a walk. I went on a walk today with my friend and just got to go to church, of course. And look at all of these community members, giving back to others. It's just nice to see. And yeah, so that's what the Hosea Helps was out doing this morning, and hopefully you enjoyed your Easter. And look at outside right now. Take a look, because this is another fun part that we get to talk about, because I know this is the main reason you guys all tune in to talk about the forecast. We're going to bring in First Alert Meteorologist Cutter Martin, who's been tracking some rain later on this week. I mean, we've been enjoying. Hopefully, is your microphone on? You good?
Should be good.
Okay, yeah, I think you're good. But yes, Cutter, I've been looking forward to all of this sunshine that we've been enjoying. But now you're telling me this may go away with this first alert.
Yeah, we had some clouds today. We'll have more tomorrow. But Tuesday evening, the time to watch for rain and storms. And then as we get into Wednesday, another first alert weather day. Not because we're expecting rain, at least not any more of it, but we're actually anticipating a huge drop in temperature that will impact your day. It will impact your Wednesday, and you're kind of going to need to rearrange your wardrobe, so to speak. So certainly a lot of weather to talk about. Again, I'm First Alert Meteorologist Cutter Martin. Thank you for tuning in and for watching, for streaming Atlanta News First Plus. Tori Cooper is wrapping up the latest news headlines, and I am now back with the First Alert forecast. A reminder as we kind of slide into the forecast here, there are many ways that you can watch our stream, get the First Alert forecast, get any updates. Marique saying the mic is perfect. Okay, it looks like Marique, adjustment from yesterday. I'm going to have to push my levels all the way to the top. I've always considered myself a loud talker, Marique, but apparently that's not the case. But glad we know what the issue was, and now everything is good to go. Fonda, hello to you watching from Lansing, Michigan. You're going to be dealing with some colder air as well by the time we get into Tuesday and Wednesday. Wesley Millsap is watching and streaming. Hello, good evening to you. And again, Marique, thank you for letting me know about my mic levels. Again, that always helps kind of clarify what's going on here and make sure that everyone is hearing us well. Outside right now, current temperatures, it is cool than it was earlier today, but I wouldn't say it's cool feeling. Temperature still in the low to mid 70s across North Georgia, Metro Atlanta, 73, Hartsfield Jackson, Atlanta International Airport, 67 up in Blairsville, 73 in Athens. So nice evening underway. Already a nice start, and it's only going to get nicer from here as we get deeper into the evening forecast. And then overnight tonight, we're going to remain fairly mild. So do keep that in mind. Not a cool Easter 2024. It's down to 69 Carrollton. You may fall another handful of degrees as we go deeper into the evening, but in general, a very slow cool down, a mild evening, a dry evening, but one that does feature a decent amount of cloud cover across North Georgia and Metro Atlanta. Case in point, hour-by-hour forecast, temperature still in the upper 60s. I think some neighborhoods still close to 70 degrees at 11 o'clock in the evening, and it's not even April 1st yet. So very mild evening underway, 65 through a.m. By the time you're out the door, maybe you are headed in tomorrow. I know a lot of students have spring break, and some have taken the week off from the office. But if you are headed to work tomorrow, it is still a Monday. Temperatures in the low to mid 60s out the door, so not all that cool. Fairly mild, in fact. Maybe a light jacket, long sleeve shirt for some. I think some get away with short sleeves out the door in the morning with lots of clouds in the first alert forecast along with those mild temperatures. And in some cases, much like this morning, there could be some low clouds and some patchy fog developing as well tonight into early tomorrow morning. Don't think it's going to cause a big issue as far as the morning commute is concerned. Don't think there will be any hassles in that regard, but you may wake up to a little bit of low visibility in a spot or two out the door tomorrow morning. 59 your low in Carrollton, 56 in Blairsville, 59 Covington, Griffin, 60 LaGrange. You see that 62 in the city of Atlanta. Not a morning where it's much cooler outside of I-285. Pretty much everyone mild. 61 Sugar Hill and Beaufort, 60 Lawrenceville, McDonough 60, Douglasville 60, 62 75 Corridor, both Kennesaw and Marietta, Smyrna as well on I-75 there in Cobb County. Morning commute-wise, not anticipating much of any issues out there. Everything looking pretty decent. Don't think we're going to wake up to much of any issues. Again, a heads up, there could be a little bit of patchy fog in the morning. That chance of just a couple of sprinkles in the first alert forecast. That's why you see that 10% chance of rain tomorrow morning. The yellow light simply letting you know, yeah, a spot or two of fog, a little bit of patchy fog, a possibility out the door in the morning. Don't think you need any extra time, though. For that Monday morning drive, you can always wake up with First Alert Meteorologist Courtney Jacobazi and Rodney Harris. They'll let you know where the fog is developing, if at all, and what the rest of the day has in store. And I think tomorrow is going to be a decent day across North Georgia and Metro Atlanta. And remember, as I go through the forecast here, especially as we get to the busy part of the forecast where we're breaking down the impacts Tuesday evening into Wednesday, both Tuesday and Wednesday first alert weather days, because the weather will impact you to various extents Tuesday into Wednesday. If you need clarification on that forecast, or if you have any weather questions, comments, concerns, we're streaming across a variety of platforms this evening, but YouTube is the place to be to get your questions answered. Wesley, Fonda, Marek, thank you all for commenting so far. If you are streaming on maybe another platform and you need a question answered, again, YouTube is the platform to ask away, and I'll be dipping in and out of that feed, monitoring the comments as they come in. Officially made it to 80 today. Hartsfield, Jackson, Atlanta International Airport. Temperature, warmest temperature so far this season, 81. Forecasting that high tomorrow, 81. Gainesville, 80. Athens, 81. Rome is in the lower 80s, 83. Noonan, 81. Crypto King saying thank you. You're very welcome. Hopefully this forecast is helping you. I want to remind you, you can always grab the forecast as well, even outside of stream time, by streaming the forecast or just looking at the forecast in the First Alert Weather app. That QR code that says ANF, upper right-hand corner of the screen, you can scan the QR code to get the First Alert forecast from the First Alert Weather app. It's a free and an easy download, and a reminder, all you have to do is also search this Atlanta News First or First Alert Weather in your app or Google Play Store. All right, here is that First Alert 7-day forecast. Again, Tuesday and Wednesday are the days to watch, both First Alert weather days. Now, what is a First Alert weather day? Basically, a day that we deem as having weather that is more likely to impact you in some sort of negative way, whether you're adjusting the plans, canceling the plans, or we're dealing with severe weather. In this case, it's the fact that, your late dinner plans could be impacted, especially at North Side. Storms may be booming. I mean, they may be loud with quite a bit of thunder and lightning as they move in, especially North Metro. That could keep you up, keep your pets up late Tuesday night, kind of adjust that schedule as well. And then Wednesday, First Alert weather day, we're dropping your rain chance. In fact, I think we're done with rain before you're up and at 'em for the morning commute. However, 82 Tuesday afternoon, and we will struggle to hit 63 Wednesday afternoon with howling north winds, lots of clouds, maybe a sprinkle or two, so a much chillier feeling day. So kind of a big switch up in the wardrobe department. I want to make sure if your students aren't on spring break that they do bring their jackets to school Wednesday, because temperatures will be much cooler, especially compared to the string of 80s, 3 consecutive 80-plus degree days in the forecast leading up to that big cool down Wednesday. And that kind of sets forth a string of cooler days with mornings in the 30s and 40s, afternoons in the 50s and 60s across North Georgia. Crypto King said hit the like and subscribe. Of course, if you would like to, that would be awesome. Subscribe to this channel. You can watch streams just like this one. We do multiple every day, breaking news, news headlines, and of course forecast discussions, much like what you are streaming right now on the Atlanta News First maybe YouTube account, or you're watching AtlantaNewsFirst.com, Roku, Amazon Fire Stick, Apple TV. Again, lots of options, but we're chatting with folks. Crypto King, the avatar, for example, on YouTube. That's who I'm chatting with right now. And again, thank you for hitting like and subscribe. Now, as far as Tuesday is concerned, because remember, before the big temperature change, the need for the jacket, it is Tuesday evening and night that we're watching showers and thunderstorms moving in. There'll be loud storms. This is forecast radar at 11 p.m. Tuesday. So really, I think 8, 9 p.m. far north metro, Rome, Floyd County, Cleburne County, Alabama, Chattooga County, Georgia, Gordon County, Gilmer County, far north and northwestern communities. As early as 8, 9 p.m., thunderstorms going to be approaching your area. 11 p.m., they're going to start to move into the city of Atlanta, 10, 11 p.m., midnight. And I think southern areas, Griffin, Thomaston, Eatonton, Athens, possibly an ETA 1, 2 a.m. in the morning. It'll be a line, kind of a broken line of showers and thunderstorms. Pretty much everybody at least sees something. Some will get absolutely poured on. The rain will be heavy at times, and a few severe storms are possible. Primary threats, wind gusts to 65 miles per hour, hail up to about the size of quarters, and lots of lightning, heavy rain, even in the non-severe storms, and can't totally rule out an isolated tornado or two. Dinner plans, far north metro could be impacted, especially if they're later dinner plans Tuesday. And then storms may wake you up or keep you awake Tuesday evening into the wee hours of Wednesday morning. And if you have pets, Tuesday night, make sure the thunder jackets, the thunder buddies, whatever you use to keep them safe and sane, when these loud booming thunderstorms move through, a good evening to pull those back out. So that's the reason for Tuesday's First Alert Weather Day. I want to give you the heads up that, hey, there is going to be an issue out there weather-wise Tuesday evening. So we're kind of bookmarking it, flagging it, First Alert Weather Daying it, Tuesday evening and night. Storms move through, and then the next big change, you're going to need to ditch the short sleeves and pull the jacket back out for Wednesday. So just kind of a little change up there midweek. Tuesday, First Alert Weather Day for the storm impact. Wednesday, First Alert Weather Day because a big temperature change is on the way. Metal Seer saying, Christ is risen. Happy Easter to you and to the rest of you celebrating out there. Hopefully it's been a beautiful Easter for you. For those who don't celebrate, hopefully it was a beautiful Sunday. Crypto King saying, hope no tornadoes. I hope not as well. I hope there are none. But it is spring. We're heading into severe weather season. Crypto King asking what the weather looks like next weekend, and here is the forecast. That's the good news. Look at next weekend. You know, we get a little stormy Tuesday evening, Tuesday night, then sharply cooler, very windy, chilly feeling Wednesday into Thursday, and then starting to warm back up next weekend. Right now, Saturday looking stellar, a little on the cool side in the morning, but hey, near 70, full sunshine in the afternoon. Clouds increase Sunday. We're going to keep your rain chance out of the forecast for now, but as we get into early the following week is when that rain chance starts to creep back in. So if you're curious about the forecast next weekend, it's looking a little cooler than this weekend, but nearly just as nice. In fact, next weekend may have more sunshine. Yesterday we had a ton of sun. Today, quite a few clouds in the sky. Next weekend, we may keep that sunshine a little bit deeper into our Sunday First Alert forecast. So certainly there is good news there. And the 7-day forecast as a whole has a lot of good weather. But First Alert Weather Day for the impact to your Tuesday evening plans. The risk of maybe a few severe storms Tuesday night, and then First Alert Weather Day Wednesday, because you're going to need to switch around the wardrobe a little bit. I wore short sleeves today. Wednesday, I can tell you just my preference, probably not going to be wearing short sleeves. We'll have the jackets and the sweaters and the long sleeve shirts back out again. We're still in early spring, by then April. But the first few days of April, a big temperature swing is not uncommon for this time of year. Hopefully that helped you out, Crypto King. Again, happy Easter to you, Metal Seer. Marie, glad the mic levels are good today. Fonda, hello, watching from Michigan. You could get a little bit of snow there, especially if you're close to the Great Lakes, more so Ohio on towards the northwestern Pennsylvania and upstate New York as we get into late week. And again, Wesley Millsap, thanks for watching, for tuning in. I want to remind you, 10 p.m. Atlanta News First on Peachtree TV. Atlanta CW affiliate Tori Cooper and Carly Barnett have your latest First Alert News headlines. And I'll have your latest First Alert forecast then. Don't expect too many changes between now and then, but new data coming in. And of course, if there are any updates. And I will go hour by hour into your Tuesday forecast as well on TV this evening. Again, just another way to look at the specific part of that forecast. And I want to remind you, if you want to reach out at any point, you can find me on social media. I'm First Alert Meteorologist Cutter Martin at X, Instagram, Facebook, anywhere that we're on social media. You can reach out, ask your weather questions, and I'll give you a holler back. Also, again, any member of the First Alert Weather team, you can do the same thing. We're here to keep you updated. We're watching the forecast Tuesday evening into Wednesday, the next big change on the way. Make sure you are paying attention to the latest First Alert forecast, and we will be keeping you updated over the next few days. And then nice weather back in the forecast as we head into next week. We'll leave you with a gorgeous view looking from Atlantic Station eastward back across the connector towards Midtown and downtown Atlanta. Thank you for tuning in. Have a wonderful evening. And again, news continues starting on Peachtree TV at 10 p.m.